Taking that very first step on a mental health journey, well, it can feel pretty overwhelming. If you've ever found yourself lost in all the options, just not knowing where to even begin, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to create a clear, simple map to help you navigate this really important decision.
Hello, I'm quite confused right now because I don't know exactly what to choose and how, a psychologist or a psychotherapist, what approach is right for me, and what criteria to use. I also have previous experience with unsuitable specialists. A friend referred me to transactional analysis, but I'm still trying to figure out what's best for me. The topics I want to have experience with are stress and anxiety, feelings of loneliness, difficult decision-making, and past traumas. I want to start living a calmer and happier life, and I think I need support for this. I would be very grateful for recommendations as well as advice on how you chose your therapist. Thanks in advance.
First of all, thank you for sharing so openly. Just acknowledging this need for support, this desire for a calmer, happier life, that is a tremendous act of strength. So let's work together right now to turn that confusion into clarity.
Okay, let's dive in. Here's our plan. We'll start by seeing why this feeling is so common. Then we'll clear up the whole psychologist versus psychotherapist question. We'll explore different therapeutic paths, build a really practical checklist for your search, create a simple action plan, and we'll finish with the single most important guide you have on this journey.
You know, that feeling of being completely overwhelmed by all the choices, it's not just common, it is a completely valid part of the process. I promise you, you are not alone in this. So let's tackle the biggest point of confusion right away. What is the actual difference between these two titles? It's a question I get all the time. Let's break this down. A psychologist, generally speaking, has a broad university education. They often focus on things like assessments and consultations, helping with stress and anxiety. A psychotherapist, on the other hand, has gone on to get additional, really specialized training in a particular method or approach. This lets them work on those deeper patterns, on relationships, and on emotional issues like trauma.
So what does that mean for you? Well, based on the goals you've outlined, working through trauma, loneliness, and those tough decisions, the focused, in-depth work you do with a psychotherapist is usually the most direct path forward. Okay, so once you've decided to look for a psychotherapist, the next question is, which kind? I want you to think of these different approaches like different trails leading up the same mountain. They all aim for the top, but the path you take really matters. So here are some of the main paths. Transactional analysis, which your friend mentioned, is fantastic for understanding relationship dynamics and that internal dialogue we all have. You know, those conflicting voices in your head. It's really powerful for loneliness and big decisions. Then there's CBT, which is super practical. It gives you tools to challenge and change the thoughts and behaviors that are fueling stress and anxiety. Psychodynamic therapy goes deeper to explore how your past experiences shape your present feelings, which is key for understanding those recurring patterns and working with trauma. And finally, EMDR is a highly specialized approach designed specifically to help your brain process and heal from traumatic memories. But here is the thing, and this is so important. You don't have to fit perfectly into one of these boxes. A really skilled therapist will often be integrative, meaning they'll pull from different approaches to create a plan that is tailored specifically to you. All right, now that we have the map of different approaches, let's build your compass. These are the practical criteria you can use to evaluate any potential therapist you're considering. First, check their credentials. Are they certified and licensed? It matters. Second, ask about their experience. It is absolutely okay to ask, have you worked with others on issues like trauma? Third, and this is so critical, pay attention to how you feel when you're talking with them. Do you feel heard? Understood? And finally, get clear on the logistics. Asking something like, how do you approach a first session? Helps you feel prepared and in control. Okay, we have the knowledge, we have the tools. Now let's turn all of this into a simple, manageable action plan. The goal here is to get you started without all that overwhelm. It really can be this simple. Step 1, just make a short list, maybe 2 or 3 names. Step 2, reach out for a brief intro call. A lot of therapists offer these for free. Step 3, use that call to ask those key questions from our checklist. And step 4, give it 2 or 3 sessions to see how it feels. Remember, this isn't a lifetime commitment. It's more like a trial period to find the right connection for you. So, after all the research and the checklists and the calls,
There is one final guide that is more important than any other: your own true north.
This is the core truth of it all. The relationship you have with your therapist is the foundation of all the work. You can find the most qualified person in the world, but if you don't feel seen and heard and safe with them, progress is going to be tough. So please trust that internal compass above all else.
And so this final question is just for you. It's not about finding the perfect therapist tomorrow. It's about taking one small, manageable step. Today, what will yours be?